Good morning and welcome to the What's Up London show. I'm your host, Jennifer Slay. I would like to recognize and acknowledge my ancestors that came before me, allowing me to be here today. I also acknowledge that London is located on the traditional lands of the Anishinaabe, Haudenosaunee, Lenai Pawak, and the Ottawandaran peoples. This week, like other weeks, we have a group of people that will be on the show from various walks of life. We have women of excellence. We have people talking about fundraising events, and we have someone talking to us about taxes. In fact, our first guest is a forensic accountant, and he's here to talk to us about what we need to keep in mind during this tax season. Hello, Ryan, and welcome to the show.
Hi, Jennifer. Thank you so much for having me today.
No problem. So Ryan, tell us a little bit about what you do, because it is tax season. So it's a busy time of year for you.
Absolutely. It's an exciting time. And we try and make sure that our clients feel that it's exciting as well and not daunting. So our business, Premier Business Consulting, we focus on everything for individuals, small, medium, and even large businesses as it pertains to their accounting, bookkeeping, financial, and tax needs. Specifically this time of year, tax season's obviously top of mind for everybody. So we have a very dedicated team to tax preparation, tax filing, and throughout the year, that team is also available for any tax analysis or questions such as RRSPs that individuals may have throughout the year.
Awesome. So Ryan, what should people, when they're looking for a tax preparer, what should people be asking or considering when they're looking to get their taxes done?
Absolutely. There's always three things that I encourage everybody to choose. And ultimately, it comes down to, are you comfortable with this person? But the three areas I really encourage is this a seasonal worker? Are they just trained for a week and then they do taxes and then the rest of the year they're out there doing something else? You definitely want to make sure that they understand the tax code and they're embraced in it throughout the year. Are there any hidden fees? You see these signs everywhere with these great prices, and then they go in and you've already been sitting with them for a little while, and now you're starting to see charge after charge after charge. Just asking those questions, what the final bill might be, and if you feel comfortable with that. And finally, are there any sort of time limits that they can express to you or that you sort of have heard in the field? For example, when we do a tax return, we're not encouraging anybody on our staff to be done within 20 minutes, but that is a time marker that we see. So if they have a time limit, are they really spending a lot of time doing analysis? So consider those three things: seasonal workers, hidden fees, and if there's any time limits that may reduce the ability for you to get the kind of analysis that you deserve.
Right, because as we were talking before we started, you were saying that there's a number of credits that people just aren't aware of. And if they're not going to the proper tax preparer, then they might miss it.
Absolutely. And it's an unfortunate thing where sometimes we do see tax returns from previous years and there's some glaring opportunities to have received a little bit more in terms of deductions. So there's a number of things that we know very well. We know about RSPs. We know about providing our T4s. We know about providing any stocks and bonds that we sold. But there are some other things out there that are not as commonly known. For instance, in 2020, the government started the program where you can get $400 if you were working from home, up to $400 because of as a COVID relief program. This year, they've raised that to up to $500. So that's an exciting program that a lot of people aren't expressing to their tax preparer and not being asked in return. There's also a lot of childcare expenses, such as a nanny, or if you had your child in an overnight camp. Those are expenses that oftentimes people aren't really thinking about bringing in, but it actually helps with the cost of childcare. And the final, although there are many, but the final I'll comment on is the climate action incentive. So we all know that there are a lot of government fees and regulations that sort of raise the price of fuel. The government has a program out there where you can save or get back, as a tax deduction, up to $300 a year. This year, it's up to $300 unless you live outside of a metropolitan area. So if you're outside of London, for example, you can get more. You can get up to $350 for the year. So there are some great programs that you definitely want to be discussing with your tax preparer. Make sure they're asking you those questions. And if not, just come prepared with it.
Those are some great tips. Thank you so much, Ryan. So tell us again your business name and how we can find you.
Sure. Our business name is Premier Business Consulting. If you are an individual looking to get your taxes done, or small, medium business, and you need some help with bookkeeping or just general consultation, give us a call. Our number is 519-601-2244, or you can reach us at info@premierbcg.ca, or finally our website, premierbcg.ca, has all the information you need about us and how to contact us.
Thank you so much, Ryan. Appreciate you being on the show and helping us out with our taxes.
Yeah, thank you so much, Jennifer. Appreciate the opportunity to speak today.
This program is brought to you by the following sponsors.
Your happy place. Easy 1013, the perfect music mix.
Carbon monoxide is a deadly gas you can't see, smell, or taste.
Homes with fuel-burning appliances and/or attached garages must have working CO alarms installed outside all sleeping areas.
Don't let the silent killer get you. Install working CO alarms today.
We can be hurt. We can be bruised. We can be broken. Slowed down, confused, and even numbed. But we can't be defeated. We're built on a foundation that's strong, our mission unwavering, and together we'll beat as one.
Hi, I'm Dan Naylor. I'm the host of London Lights, the show where we talk about notable Londoners who have made a big mark, big impact on the world of music, entertainment, sports, politics.
You're watching Rogers TV.
Welcome back. March is a busy month. Not only is it tax season, and not only is there International Women's Day, but it's also Epilepsy Awareness Month. And here to talk to us about an upcoming fundraiser being put on by Epilepsy Southwestern Ontario is its CEO, Michelle Franklin. Hello, Michelle, and welcome to the show.
Good morning, Jen. How are you today?
I'm well, thank you. I'm well. So you're here to talk to us about Epilepsy Southwestern Ontario. And I think there's a misconception with regards to what people believe epilepsy is. It's just someone with seizures. Can you tell us a little bit about what epilepsy is?
Absolutely. So epilepsy is a neurological condition, and it happens in the brain when the neurons in your brain send a mixed up message. And that literally is what a seizure is, a mixed up message in the brain. And depending what part of the brain the mixed up message happens in will depend what you see outwardly as a seizure.
Okay. All right. And so there's support for people who are diagnosed with epilepsy, and that's your agency. Can you tell us a bit about what your agency does?
Sure, absolutely. So yeah, epilepsy affects 1 in 100 people. So it's a lot more common, I think, than people actually realize. And our organization provides support services and education services, awareness campaigns, in order to provide support to families living with epilepsy.
Nice. And there's a spring gala coming up.
There is, yeah. So it is Epilepsy Awareness Month. So we're usually pretty busy during this time. And we do have a Purple People campaign where we're encouraging people to make their doors purple behind them, paint their nails purple, whatever they want to do, and tell people why they're doing it to help increase awareness. And then our spring gala is going to be so much fun. It's a Mad Hatter theme, so Alice in Wonderland this year. And we'd love, there's still tickets available if people are interested in coming. It's April 2nd at the Hellenic Center. So people can find out more information on our website, which is epilepsyswo.ca.
Oh, amazing. So this is going to be an in-person event. And do people dress up as a character from Alice in Wonderland?
They can, certainly they can. It's a semi-formal event and it's a hybrid. So actually, if people can't attend in person or aren't comfortable, which is totally okay, they can buy a virtual ticket to attend. So events are looking very different these days. So we're trying to do a bit of a hybrid event.
Wonderful. And so how can Londoners help if they're not able to attend the event? What are some ways that Londoners can support?
Oh, great. Donations are amazing. Volunteering, we're always in need of volunteers, which would be fabulous. Anything from event support to office support. Would be very helpful. If they don't want to attend the gala or can't, we're always looking for silent auction items or sponsorships for the event. So those are just some ways that people could get involved the gala.
Okay, wonderful. Well, Michelle, thank you so much for coming on and sharing with us what Epilepsy is, what your agency does, and this amazing gala that's coming up in April, correct? April?
Yes. Yeah. Very good. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for having me. As always, we appreciate the opportunity to raise awareness about epilepsy. So very much appreciate you having me on today.
Thank you, Michelle. You take care.
This program is brought to you by the following sponsors.
Huron Flooring offers a vast selection of pre-finished hardwood floors in a variety of colors, textures, widths, and finishes. We also provide resanding and refinishing of your existing flooring and stairs. Visit us at Huron Flooring, 782 York Street in London.
Hi everyone, my name is Dr. Mario Elia, and I'm the host of a new show here on Rogers TV that we're calling Keeping London Healthy with Dr. Mario. So tune in Wednesdays at 6:30 p.m. and we'll see you then.
My name's Ranger M. I love to knowledge share, and that's just what I'm going to do with you. So come on, let's go learn with Ranger M.
It was our 35th anniversary. To celebrate, we were on our way to Mama Rosie's, where we had our first date. That's when we heard coming from the radio. So we stopped and listened. It helped us get to safety. So when I think of our anniversary, because now we have even more to celebrate.
You're watching Rogers TV, London.
Welcome back. Cecily Alexander is one of our featured women of excellence this month. She recently wrote her memoirs in a book entitled Immigration, Race, and Survival from Trinidad to Canada, Living in Parallel Worlds. Please welcome Cecily Alexander. Hello, Cecily, and welcome to the show.
Hi, Jennifer. Thank you for having me.
No problem. So we met just a little while ago and you were telling me about a book that you wrote, your memoir. Can you share with us? It was fascinating to me, so I just want you to share it with all of London.
Right. My memoir, the name says it all. It's Immigration, Race, and Survival from Trinidad to Canada, Living in Parallel Worlds. And I wrote it at the beginning of COVID. I wrote it through the lens of race, because when I started writing, I realized that from my arrival to Canada, race has been a significant part of my existence in Canada.
Mm-hmm. And one of the things that we spoke about were the terms microaggression and micro invalidation, which are terms that have been thrown around a lot over the last couple of years. Can you just share what their actual definitions are and how it relates to this book?
Sure. I'll start off by saying it wasn't until 2017 when I was skiing in Utah and chatted with a guide and telling him about some of my experiences, he said, Cecily, those are microaggressions. And I said, what? I hadn't heard the term. I typed it into my phone, came back and researched it. And a whole big light opened up in front of me. And I realized that the experiences in my book, I say, I know what I was experiencing was wrong, but I didn't have the words. Well, I did when I got the terms microaggressions and microinvalidation, because they explained my experiences totally. So microaggressions, or better, microinvalidations, talks about the other person, in my case, two managers. It talks about making you invisible and negating who you are. It talks about nullifying a person of color. So it's within a situation where it's so covert that it's really hard sometimes to identify it. Because if someone is going through that experience in a work setting by a manager, then the stress of that situation can put the individual in terms of depression, maybe even poor attendance, and a variety of things, not doing their work as well. And if the person complains or says something about it, it's very easy for the person to say, oh, I've fired you, or I've gotten rid of you because of all these other reasons, and not because of prejudice or racism occurring. So I think the reason I survived so well is, in both the instances that I relate in my memoir, my work was stellar. The person could not fault me based on my work. So that's one of the big things of how I survived, I think, until I eventually retired.
Yeah, it's almost very confusing, very frustrating, because you're right. Unless you know the word to use, it's almost crazy making, because you just like, was it this? Did they mean this? And you just don't know, right?
Yeah. In my memoir, my lawyer wrote an amazing foreword where he actually said in the foreword that, and he's a friend, so I told him about some of my experiences, but he said in his foreword, it came really clear to him. He had always thought he understood racism until he read my memoir. And he actually said that he complimented himself for being aware of what it was until he read what I had written. So let me give you some examples. It's in one of my first jobs, and this goes back to the 90s, and it was in London. Restructuring was going through all the hospitals that I've worked in. I'm a dietitian by profession. And I had a stellar, excellent career that was booming in terms of what I did and the development of my department, and very progressive. And then with restructuring, I got a nurse manager. In my book, I say she was my nemesis because I had experiences with her before, but they were not, I could ignore them because she was not in a line relationship with me. And then I inherited her as my manager. From day one, the microaggression started. But you see, what is hard, because it's so covert, she did them in private. So in a way, I suffered in silence. She fired me after 11 months of being my manager, not for any reason, but she said that it was due to restructuring. So it wasn't for cause, it was due for restructuring. But interestingly, in private,
I'm going to stop you only because I want people to get the book and read it. And I think that for people of color,
I have a copy.
It's going to be a book that's going to validate them, validate their experiences. And for people who are not people of color, it's going to open your eyes. So thank you so much. Where can people find your book?
They can find it on Amazon, or they can also find it on the Amazon, or you can get it through Chapters, but it has to be ordered through both of those sources. So thank you so much. It's, I think, there's so many other themes. I've just talked about one of them, but I also talk about the differences that people that come from the Caribbean, because we grew up in a Black society where our leaders, our teachers, we didn't have Jim Crow, we didn't have separate buses or accommodation. We have a different attitude to racism in Canada. And it's not the American experience or even the Canadian experience where you could experience racism from a very young age. So yes, please read it.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Tyler Fines, host of Off the Puck Hockey on Rogers Channel 20. We interview some of the biggest names in hockey and sports. Check us out, Rogers Channel 20, Off the Puck Hockey. Let's go.
Giovanni! Fire! The neighbor's farm is on fire. It's almost to the road. It's heading for us.
Help me get the animals out of the barn.
The fire's getting closer.
I'm on the horse.
The house is burning.
Get out to the river. Get up.
Can't leave everything. Careful! Don't fall!
Come on, we have to hurry.
Hurry! There's the river. We're going to make it. I can't swim.
Yes, you can.
Hurry! Hurry!
You must get in.
I can't.
Watch out for Spark.
His hair's on fire.
Keep their hair wet.
In May 1870, fires raged along the Saguenay River for more than 150 kilometers, destroying land and lives. One family survived by dousing themselves all night against the searing heat. One family, among the thousands whose resourcefulness and courage shaped the character of this land.
Welcome back. Our next guests are from the Spinal Cord Injury Ontario, and they have what sounds to be an amazing event coming up to celebrate, to educate, and entertain in efforts to raise funds to support those living with spinal cord injuries. Please welcome Alex and Paul. Hello, Alex. Hello, Paul. Welcome to the show.
Good morning, Jennifer.
Happy
to be here. Thank you.
So you are here representing the Spinal Cord Injury Ontario. Can you tell us what that is exactly?
Well, Spinal Cord Injury Ontario used to be the Canadian Paraplegic Association. And that was developed in about 1945 for people coming back from the war who didn't want to be institutionalized all their life because they had a spinal cord injury. And they were developing different tracks of how do you live your everyday life. So these individuals developed an idea. They thought, well, we want to really be inclusive in our community. So that we're going to have to advocate for this. We're going to have to educate ourselves and others that follow through and keep on bringing people through the notion that just because you are a person of disability does not mean that you're not a person. And that's really what SCIO is advocating for and always has. And we maintain that through our vision, not just our vision, but our mission and all the programs that we run continually through our Cord Tree platform that educates, and people can go in and they can exercise, or they can just play bridge, or they can play trivia and just socialize. But it's reminding us that we are a community and that's what we belong. And that's, there we go. Sorry.
You're good. You're good. So that is wonderful. And so, Alex, you are affiliated through, is it through Western that you're affiliated with?
Fanshawe College. It's my field placement. Yeah. So I work with the Sheila Daniels. She's the special events coordinator. And it's been an amazing experience so far, just seeing like the nonprofit organization and how that whole works out. Yeah.
Awesome. And so how do you get the word out about your existence here and so that people can find you to get that support that they need?
Well, there's many ways of doing it. Mostly we're doing it at the moment online through what is it? What's our email?
SCIOontario.org.
SCIOontario.org. And basically we're getting the information out by publications like this, by talking to individuals like yourself, by being in the community, by working with business members in the community, with political leaders, et cetera, to just keep letting people know and advocating for the needs of people and persons with disabilities or spinal cord injuries. And that is what's leading. With all that, we need to raise funds, which is what we're doing with this comedy night.
Yes, so please share about the comedy night, because that's another way of getting people to learn about who you are and what you do.
Yes, so we are hosting a virtual comedy night. It's going to be taking place on March 31st at 8 p.m. live on Zoom. So anyone across the world can join in. We have 3 comedians that are going to be performing. Our headliner is Judah Friedlander, best known for his role on 30 Rock, with supporting acts from Jocelyn Chia and Gianmarco Ceresi. Tickets are $40 each, and each area has different add-on drink and snack packages available for purchase. And I know the one in London has an amazing charcuterie box from the Posh Cheese Board Company. And we also have a silent auction that will be opening on March 28th with lots of great prizes from great businesses around the province. And our event proceeds Spinal Cord Injury Ontario in support of people living with disabilities.
Wonderful. Oh my goodness, that sounds fun. I love silent auctions.
Yeah. Me too. Yeah, they're so
yes,
good.
That's right. I just bought that. Oh.
And we've got a lot of great prizes this year. A lot of great prizes.
Okay, so how can people find out about it?
So all our information is linked on our website. It's www.scio.org, sciontario.org. We have a whole section on comedy night, and I'm sure Paul and I are open if anyone has any questions to reach out to us as well.
Absolutely. It would be our pleasure.
Well, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for sharing about this important topic, and good luck with your event.
Thank you so much.
Jennifer.
That's a wrap. Thank you for tuning in. And to support our guests, please go visit them on social media and share their pages with your networks. I look forward to being here again with you next week and ask that you please like, comment, and share this episode with your friends. Until next time, be well and take care.
Call the Rogers TV viewer response line. Email us or connect with us on social media.
Monday nights, a winner with Optimus TV Bingo on Rogers TV. With a weekly prize board of $3,000, the money raised funds projects to help the youth in our community. You can pick up your cards at over 90 locations across London, and for only $2, you get 6 chances to win. Watch, play, and win every Monday night at 8 p.m. with Optimus TV Bingo on Rogers TV, or streamed live at rogerstv.com.
The Canadian film and TV industry recognizes it's time to build a better workforce, which includes more opportunities for Black, Indigenous, and persons